Yesterday I posted an unboxing of a Corsair K100 keyboard, and while I did like the keyboard quite a bit, I did discover a couple of small issues with it. One was with the wheel, and the other one was with the palm rest, just kind of lifting up above the table a little bit. Both of those issues were small enough to ignore, really. I did feel that for $230, it should have been perfect, and it wasn't, but I was willing to ignore that and live with it. However, something else just happened, and that is Best Buy started their Black Friday week sales today. Today is a Sunday. And they just discounted that K100 keyboard by $30. It's not a big deal, but it's still cheaper, and I just got it the day before. So, a little bit annoying. I asked them if they would price match, and they said no. So, I figured that in combination with the wheel issue, that was probably a quality control issue, I figured that it might be worth it for me to return that unit I got and just exchange it for the other one at the cheaper price, and hopefully with a better feeling multifunction wheel. So I drove back to Best Buy, and it's always kind of a whole deal because the closest Best Buy is about 30 minutes away from me, and I have to go on Turnpike, so kind of a pain. I got there. I figured since I'm there, Best Buy, I'll go around and take a look at what else they got. And since, again, Black Friday, so see what kind of deals they got. So something caught my eye, and that was this thing. Razer Blackwidow Elite. Normally, I would probably not get a Razer because they're just as expensive, about $200. This one, I believe, is $170. So if I was looking at a Razer for $170 or $200 for Huntsman Elite and comparing it to Corsair K100 at $200 as they have it priced for sale today, I would just go with Corsair again. But this is half off. It's 50% off, so it's $85. And I'm like, I like to save money. For the price of the Corsair K100, I can try this. I actually picked up a mouse too to go with this laptop here, and I got a few movies and a couple other small things, and I still saved money. So that was kind of the main reason to try that. Plus, I do like Razer as a brand. I just thought the Corsair was probably a nicer keyboard, and it does have more features than this Blackwidow here. But again, this is less than half of the price of the Corsair, and some of the features that are missing here are not that important. I'll go over them in a minute. So again, I just want to do an unboxing. I'm not reviewing these products. I'm just unboxing them. I'm going to hook it up to this laptop, and we're going to take a look at how it works. It doesn't look like I need a knife for this. The tape just comes off. That's nice. So $85. That's a mid-range price point, I think. And this keyboard is pretty much close to high-end. It's not the best or most expensive that Razer offers right now, but it's kind of close to it. And if you compare this to their Huntsman Elite keyboard, I think this is a little bit newer and even has some of the features that are missing from the Huntsman. The biggest difference that I can tell between the Blackwidow and the Huntsman is the switches that they use. Huntsman switches are faster, and for some people it may be important for gaming. And also the Huntsman has more RGB, so it has RGB strip going all around that this one doesn't. Other than that, they look almost identical from the front, and the keys actually feel very close, just the feel and sound of them. When I compared it in store, I didn't feel that much of a difference. And the Huntsman is $150 right now. Okay. Now, I always like Razer's packaging. They try to stand out. We have congratulations and welcome to the next level of gaming domination. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And looks like a manual here. I don't read those. Okay. So just cardboard. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we still have two USB plugs. They're Razer green, kind of cool. Now we also have this 3.5mm jack here. So this is one of the features that is not present on the Corsair K100 or the more expensive Razer Huntsman Elite. This keyboard has an audio pass-through, so it has a 3mm, 3.5mm jack on the side of the keyboard. So I apologize for the noise, just wanted to make sure to get everything out of the box. So everything's out of the box now. Protective plastic. Okay, kind of nice minimalism design here, nice and smooth. I believe this is metal. It actually feels very similar to the aluminum that is on my laptop. Okay. One thing I noticed about Razer, just from some of the videos that I watched, some keys just seem to be a little bit goofy and kind of have wiggle from side to side. In this regard, the Corsair definitely felt a little bit better, a little bit more premium. But as long as it works good, it's probably not a big deal. Now, media controls are right here. We have play, pause, previous track, next track. This buttons feel nice and clicky. Now the mute button is here, and the volume control is here. Now it's not too comfortable grabbing it from the top, but you can just slide it from the side here, like that. Next, there's nothing on the back. We have some channels here for the cable if you want to run it to one or the other side of the keyboard or from the back. A couple of stand-up legs here. Pretty standard stuff. And on the left side, here's our audio jack and the USB pass-through. So the audio jack is the feature that got me interested. It's not present on their more expensive Huntsman keyboard, and it's not present on the Corsair keyboard. But I actually feel like this might be very useful for me because my desktop tower is pretty far away from where I'm sitting, and if I want to use headphones, I have to plug them in and I have a cable running like over my monitors, or I have to route it under the monitors and the cable barely reaches. It's pretty annoying. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, well, that's actually a useful feature. So kind of made me consider this keyboard here. And the price. I like to save money everywhere I can, so saving more than 50% over the Corsair. And here's the palm rest. So this here is like imitation leatherette material, and yes, it feels like leather. It looks good. Gotta be careful with it. I'm sure you can probably get scratched pretty easily. And also, knowing materials like this, I think it's possible for it to stretch from prolonged use. For example, if you game like this, I actually saw some pictures on the internet of the padding just kind of stretching here. I don't think it's going to be a problem for me. I don't really game like that much anymore, but something to keep in mind. Read those reviews. The Corsair had a similar magnetically attached palm rest, but there are two tabs here, then you had to find the proper spot and slide underneath. Now this, let's see. So this just kind of goes on. It doesn't stay on very strongly, but feels like once it's on your desk, it's probably going to be okay. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. There are no lights on the palm rest here. The Huntsman had some lights going around. Also, the palm rest is gonna cover the Razer logo, which is an RGB logo, but it's probably not a big deal, and there's another Razer logo here. Okay, so let me go ahead and hook it up to this computer and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here I have it plugged in, and I'll turn some lights on in a second. I just want to make sure we see these lights. So RGB quality wise, I would say the Corsair was a little bit nicer. It was brighter for sure. So this is the highest brightness. I can't turn it up anymore, and while it's fine, it's not so, it's not dim or anything. Corsair was just brighter, and it might be a plus or a minus for some people. This has a nice glow to it, and it's not overwhelming. And like I was mentioning, there's nothing around. There's no RGB in the back or on the sides, although some of it's still shining through the open switches there. So you'll still get a little bit of RGB light around. But yeah, it looks nice. Let me try a different effect. Let's just put it on a static white. It takes a moment to change the color, but as you can see, it just took a moment. I noticed with the volume wheel, if you turn volume all the way down, it turns red. So kind of a cool effect. When you start turning it up, it goes white. I need to play around with it a little bit to see all the different features I can do at different settings, things like that. But now, so with some lights on, as you can see, the backlight is pretty silent. It looks blue, but it's actually white. Yeah, not bad. And the palm rest here, I feel like it's too easy to disconnect, and I'll see if there's going to be a problem or not. But so far, it's just so easy to come off. Yeah, we'll test it some more. Test. So, couple final thoughts here. It overall, yeah, it probably doesn't feel as premium as the Corsair K100 felt, and it mostly because I would say it's because of how easy this comes off, and also probably because of some of the keys I noticed are somewhat wobbly. You see this? Was no problem with Corsair. Now typing now, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. Some of the keys, like I said, feel somewhat wobbly. Switches. This uses Razer's green switch, and it's my understanding that this is one of the louder ones if you like the clicky keyboard. But personally, I would probably prefer something a little bit quieter, but I can live with this. And just to compare with my last keyboard, I still have laying around here. Okay, so this is a Logitech. I think it's probably about the same. Yep, I'm gonna use it for a few days, see how I like it. Best Buy Black Friday sale is still going on. I might end up replacing it, going back to Corsair if I find some kind of deal breaker. So far, the only things that concern me is the palm rest. So it just feels like it just keeps sliding up on me. Yeah. It also might be the material that's on, because this is not, this is pretty. It's easy for things to slide on this. It's not too sticky. Yeah, there's the word. So we'll see how that feels, and also how the audio passes through, and all the different lighting effects, and all the good stuff. But overall, so far, for $85, I say it's a good deal. So to make a conclusion, I think the Blackwidow Elite by Razer is a pretty decent keyboard, especially for the price. For $85, I think it's fine. I wish they had it out on a display in the store though, because I think that's how a lot of people can actually try using it, typing, to make a decision. And unfortunately, they only have like one of each company's keyboard, probably their flagship. And here's the deal. I did end up going back to Best Buy and came back with this again. So here's why. When I brought that Razer keyboard to my desk and actually hooked it up to my computer and started using it normally, typing, I quickly realized that there is one big downside for me personally. Not that there's anything wrong with the keyboard, but just the way, I guess it is, with its louder switches. I noticed the space bar is just ridiculously loud, and when I just try to do any kind of work and just type normally, it's so distracting. It's bad. But here, see for yourself. Yeah, so that was enough for me to consider it to be a deal breaker, and I just went ahead, drove back to Best Buy, returned it, and went back to the Corsair K100 that I unboxed yesterday. Since this was a good keyboard, just kind of pricey, but keyboard is something you buy and use for many years, so at the end of the day I decided it's probably worth it. So it's a little bit weird looking at another keyboard from another manufacturer during an unboxing and maybe an overview of a certain product, but just something I wanted to check. So this is a replacement one. If you go back and watch the video on this keyboard from yesterday, you'll see that my issue was with the multifunctional wheel over here that wasn't scrolling right. It felt like it was catching on something, or it just wasn't smooth. And actually the same with volume. Now that I just tried it, this is much smoother. Just there's no resistance. And this, I mean, this feels like it's supposed to. So there are no weird noises, and there's no resistance. In fact, I feel more of a like this notch, feeling to it. So I wonder if there's a different revision or some change, or maybe it's just a luck. You get one or the other. So back to the Razer Blackwidow Elite. I don't think I can make a recommendation. I'm not saying it's bad. It just wasn't for me. So if you have a chance to try it first, try it, see if you're okay with it. I didn't like it.